President Trump's immigration crackdown now targeting Ohio. ICE arresting illegal immigrants in the capital, Columbus, and across the state in what's being dubbed Operation Buckeye.
America, ICE just launched Operation Buckeye in Ohio, arresting gang members, murderers, and violent criminals that Biden let walk free for years. But here's what's really wild. This is the same Ohio where Haitian migrants became a national story when Trump said,
"They're eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats,"
and the media lost their mind. Now ICE is arresting the worst of the worst, while Columbus city leaders are literally protesting federal immigration enforcement and promising their police won't help. Meanwhile, in Maryland, an illegal immigrant tried to run over an ICE agent with a van on Christmas Eve, and both the driver and his passenger are here on overstayed visas that nobody enforced.
Agents nabbing criminal aliens from places like India and Somalia, some convicted of violent crimes, sex offenses, felony robbery, and drug possession.
What is up, guys? TYSON DELACRUZ here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This is what happens when Democrats create sanctuary policies. They protect criminals, handcuff law enforcement, then act shocked when violence breaks out. Let me show you what's really happening in Ohio and why local Democrats are more upset about ICE doing their job than about criminals terrorizing their communities. Let me take you guys back about a year ago in Springfield. Ohio became ground zero for the immigration debate. Trump mentioned Haitian migrants are eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
The media lost their mind, went insane, calling it a conspiracy theory, but residents were telling a completely different story.
This immigration situation here is affecting nearly every aspect of life from what I can tell and from what the residents are telling me here in Springfield, Ohio. I'm here at a jobs and kind of family center here in Springfield. This was packed with a line all day. It was primarily Haitian immigrants, like literally all day long. I couldn't get anyone to speak to me because they don't speak English.
Accidents on the roads were skyrocketing. Services were under strain. The infrastructure couldn't handle it. But the media didn't want to talk about any of that. They just wanted to mock Trump.
The crime rate from 2019 to 2022 is up 142%.
Residents directly connected that spike to the influx of migrants. But when they tried to tell their local government, state government, or federal government, nobody wanted to listen.
The local town is not listening to us. The state is not listening to us. The feds certainly are not listening to us.
That's what residents kept saying. Nobody was listening. Local government ignored them. State government ignored them. Federal government under Biden definitely ignored them. So the problems just got worse and worse until Trump finally brought national attention to it. Fast forward to now, ICE launched Operation Buckeye on December 16th. And within days, they arrested some absolutely horrific criminals that the Biden administration just let roam free in Ohio communities.
Our officers have gone out and truly arrested the worst of the worst. We have arrested gang members, murderers, and rapists. We've arrested people with sex crime charges. We've arrested people with DWI charges. And we've been able to go after these people that have been in this country illegally. They have taken advantage of the system here in Ohio, and we're putting a stop to that, allowing us to go after the worst of the worst who have been embedded themselves in these communities near Columbus, Ohio.
These were violent criminals who had embedded themselves in communities around Columbus. ICE arrested people from India, Somalia, of course, and other countries, all here, you guessed it, illegally, all with some serious criminal records, all protected by Biden's non-enforcement priorities that classified violent criminals as people ICE shouldn't be bothered with.
Sanctuary cities policies, leaders who don't want to work with ICE is not going to deter ICE from doing our job.
The ICE deputy director made it clear sanctuary city policies and leaders who don't want to work with ICE aren't going to stop them from doing their freaking job. They're going into cities whether local officials cooperate or not, because protecting American communities is more important than protecting the Democrats' feelings. Now watch how the Columbus mayor responded to ICE arresting violent criminals in his city. Instead of thanking them, he threw a freaking tantrum.
Our police will not be used to carry out these operations. Columbus is already safe without federal intervention. Please take care of one another and know that your community leaders see and support you.
Are you kidding me? Columbus is already safe. Tell that to the victims of the gang members, the murderers, the rapists that ICE just arrested. Tell that to the residents who've been begging for help for years while crime rates exploded.
Like, this country was literally built on the backs of immigrants every step of the way. And none of us are here, you know, unless you are native to this land. Every single one of us is an immigrant in some way, shape, or form.
And of course, here comes the protesters with the same tired talking points.
This country was built on the backs of immigrants.
Legal immigrants who came through the proper channels, learned English, and assimilated into American culture, not people who crossed illegally and committed violent crimes.
ICE activity has reportedly ramped up in Columbus, Ohio, with Operation Buckeye. City officials, including the mayor, are trying to push back.
I've been clear that City of Columbus resources will not be used to help federal deportation efforts or investigations based solely on immigration status.
But that's not what's happening. ICE isn't just solely going after people based on immigration status. They're going after criminals, gang members, violent felons, people who are threats to public safety. You know what I find hilarious? These same liberals who loved illegal immigrants so much, why don't they just house them themselves? Why don't they just open up their homes? Why is it always that working class Americans in places like Springfield have to deal with the consequences while wealthy Democrats in gated communities lecture us about compassion? Now, let me show you what happens when you create this environment where local government tells illegal immigrants that ICE is the enemy and they should resist. You get violence. You get attacks on federal agents. You get what happened in Maryland on Christmas Eve.
Federal investigators are on the scene of a Glen Burnie neighborhood where police say the target of their operations attempted to run them over.
ICE agents approached a white van in Maryland. They identified two illegal immigrants, one from Portugal, one from El Salvador. Both overstayed their visas. When agents ordered the driver to turn off the car, he refused. Then he started ramming ICE vehicles and drove directly at agents, trying to run them over.
They opened fire at him, striking him, and that van actually ended up crashing into the woods between some homes here, and it looks like there might be a tow truck to pull that van out at this point.
Both driver and passenger were injured and taken to the hospital. Both are expected to survive, which means they'll face federal charges for assaulting federal officers.
Neighbor James Hicks tells WMAR2 News that he heard the commotion and 3 gunshots.
He gonna try to run a guy over. Yeah, I understand why the guy shot him. You know, he shouldn't try nothing like that.
That is common sense, you guys. You try to run over a federal agent with the vehicle, they're going to defend themselves. But here's what's really disturbing. Attacks on ICE agents have skyrocketed since Trump took office for his second term. We're talking about a 1,300% increase in vehicle attacks on ICE agents. 1,300%. You know why? Because Democrats and their media allies have spent years demonizing ICE, calling them Nazis and fascists, and telling illegal immigrants to resist. Homeland Security put out a statement after the Maryland attack that needs to be read in full because it exposes exactly what's happening here. Our brave officers are risking their lives every day to keep American communities safe by arresting and removing illegal aliens from our streets. Continued efforts to encourage illegal aliens and violent aggregators to actively resist ICE will only lead to one more violent incident. The extreme rhetoric needs to stop. That, my friends, is the Department of Homeland Security officially saying that the Democrat rhetoric is encouraging violence against federal agents, and they're absolutely right.
Protesters around the country are demanding their local and state officials do more to stand up to immigration raids.
That's code for obstructing federal law enforcement. That's code for protecting criminals. That's code for put illegal immigrants ahead of American citizens.
They cannot completely stop ICE through their own action.
But they can impose some constraints. Translation, make it harder for federal agents to do their job, which puts those agents agents in more danger and allows more criminals to potentially escape. Here's what these sanctuary city mayors and governors don't want to admit. They're going to lose this particular fight. The Constitution in this is crystal clear.
The Supremacy Clause of the Constitution will always limit what a state and local official can do because it allows federal law to prevail over conflicting local laws.
States can refuse to help ICE, but they can't actively obstruct federal immigration enforcement. And when they try, they're going to get sued. The Trump DOJ is already suing Illinois for passing laws that restrict cooperation with ICE. They're investigating 18 other states for similar violations, and they're going to win every single case because the Constitution is on their side. America, this is the choice Democrats are making. Protect violent criminals or protect American citizens. Every single time, you guessed it, they choose criminals. The Columbus mayor says the city is already safe while ICE arrests gang members and murderers. Protesters claim ICE is terrorizing communities while ignoring the actual terror caused by criminals that ICE is removing. And Democrat rhetoric encouraging resistance leads directly to illegal immigrants trying to run over federal agents on Christmas Eve. Here's what nobody wants to say out loud. Every attack on an ICE agent, every criminal who escapes because local police won't cooperate, every American victim of crimes committed by somebody who should have been deported, that is blood on the Democrats' hands. They created sanctuary policies. They demonized ICE. They told illegal immigrants to resist. And now they're shocked when violence breaks out. It's not that complicated. When you tell criminals they're protected and federal agents are the enemy, you get exactly what happened in Maryland. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.